Join me now from Montgomery. We have Janai Nelson, President and Director Counsel of the Legal Defense Fund. Janai argued that Calais case before the Supreme Court on behalf of black voters in Louisiana. And I welcome you, Janai. You warned the Supreme Court justices that the consequences of gutting the Voting Rights Act would be swift and dire. So why is today's day of action for voting rights in Alabama a response to that decision? How are they connected?
Because we told them very clearly that the consequences of striking down any part of Section 2 would be catastrophic. And within hours of the decision, we saw rampant disenfranchisement, rampant gerrymandering, and rampant racial discrimination in states across the South. And what we're seeing today is a response to that. We are not going to take this decision sitting down. We are not going to take the actions of disenfranchising black voters sitting down. We've already tread that road. We've already marched. We've already bled. We've already died. And we are not going back today. The court will not take us back, nor will the legislators. What they have done is awakened a sleeping giant, the Democratic majority of this country.
I'll tell you, power to the people there. You have mass mobilization from Americans. Yes, it has its strength, but as Congresswoman Clark said, so does litigation. Do you believe in the power of the justice system to uphold a multiracial democracy, even after seeing the Supreme Court gut the Voting Rights Act and then just yesterday block Virginia's voter-approved map?
Listen, the justice system has been failing us, but this is not the first time that has happened. We have had to force our justice system to be objective, to be fair, to be sound, and what we're seeing right now is that that system is in need of dire reform. But we've never operated only in the courts. Litigation has never been a sole strategy. It's always been about the people. It's always been about mobilization. If I think back to Brown versus Board of Education, the seminal case that the Legal Defense Fund won in 1954, 72 years ago tomorrow. That was a result of people putting their lives on the line, of families stepping forward and having their children be part of a lawsuit, and protests, and all of the action of people, which is what we see today. We operate in the courts, we operate in the streets, we operate in the legislatures. This is a multi-headed hydra of racism, and we are meeting it head on with a multifaceted strategic response. And the people are at the center of it.
In that opinion piece for MS Now following the Calais decision, you write, Janai, that this is what America looks like when it fails to protect its progress. Fierce backlash, partisan retrenchment, brass-knuckle tactics. Enemies of that progress are clawing back the gains black and brown communities have made by whatever means necessary. So which tactics do you see most as those brass-knuckle ones you write about?
Well, the clearest one is the cancellation of elections that are already underway. The disrespect of American voters from all backgrounds, all races, who came out to choose representatives and are now finding that the court and their state legislatures are playing games and manipulating the outcome of elections by redrawing lines midstream. Americans should be able to rely on their legislators and the court to hold the line when we are in the middle of an election cycle. Instead, we're seeing gamesmanship, we're seeing just trickery and treachery in connection with the fundamental sacred right to vote that is preservative of all rights. And that's why this is so incensing, because there's a disrespect for the right that holds this country together, that makes us a beacon of democracy, or did at one point, and we are now sullying that reputation and that right with these brass-knuckle tactics and infantile antics. And the American people don't want it. We are fed up, and we are not standing for it.
We're going to show right now the viewers this map of potential changes to maps ahead of the midterms. How do you judge the legality of all this partisan redistricting?
We should not share our money.
Well, listen, the Supreme Court at one point acknowledged that partisan gerrymandering is anti-democratic. It said so, but it also said that it could not adjudicate, meaning it could not actually hear those claims that they were too political. What we're seeing now is a court that is sending an invitation to state legislatures to engage in partisan gerrymandering. A Supreme Court that is itself complicit in the overhaul and unraveling of our democracy. And that is a dangerous place to be. The court is supposed to serve as a check and a balance on chaos and corruption. And instead, it is a complicit partner aiding and abetting the destruction of our democracy. But the people will have the final word.
I tell you, I believe you if you have anything to do with it, because you're a very powerful speaker in all of this. Janae Nelson, thank you so much.